Hey, what's up? So I was just, the lighting in here is terrible, but it doesn't bother me. Okay, so there's an incident that's happening today in Virginia I wanted to talk about. And so I wanted to talk about it because it's happening right now. The This senator, let's see, what's his name? His name is Senator uh, Louis Lucas. I think that's his name. I might be saying it wrong. But he's a Democrat, and he spearheaded the redistricting of Virginia. So the Trump folks are raiding his home and trying to trump up some things to get rid of this guy, right? So, guys, he did something that a lot of people wouldn't do. And so they're coming after him for that. Now, they've come after a lot of people. They came after Don Lemon because he was saying things about the Trump administration. They come after all kind of people, okay? So this is just this is Wednesday. This is just the way they do business now, right? So they're basically saying you can't do things that's going to affect President Trump. You can't do anything to counter what the Republicans are doing. So basically, the Supreme Court said, hey, you could change the map and people won't be able to vote for who they want to vote for, right? That's legal now. You could do that. You could just change the map. And that's going to put a lot of people out of business, and that's going to take a lot of black votes and take a lot of black power from the community, right? Okay, I get that. So this person says, Lucas says, hey, let's change the maps in Virginia. We're Democrats. We could change the map in Virginia and get more seats if we want to do that. They're saying that's the law. And so we need to counter what the Republicans are doing. They didn't like that, right? They didn't like that. So the Democrats are picking up seats in Virginia, in California, and possibly some of these other states, right? Louisiana paused their election, right? It's a red state. They paused their election and said, listen, we're going to change the map in the middle of an election. And people won't be able to vote for who they want to vote for, right? So Democrats did something that Republicans wasn't expecting them to do. They got out there and said, okay, we're going to change the maps. We're going to change the doggone maps. Okay. Now, so this guy changed the maps. So now President Trump's regime is coming after him and raiding his house. Okay, so that's going to be all over the news. If you haven't heard that yet, it's going to be all over the news by tomorrow. They're raiding his house and they're trying to say he has some cannabis or some kind of thing. We'll see how it turns out. But the thing that I wanted to talk about is not so much that, it's the principle of you change the law, okay? We start winning in the game that you created. And now the Supreme Court is saying, hey, we're going to change the game. Okay, since you changed the game, we're going to change how we play it. This is chess, not checkers. We're going to play it the same way that you're playing it. You change the rules, we're going to change how we do things. And the Democrats around these other states are saying, hey, we're going to change the map too then. Why not? So that we can gain more power and more seats in our states. Okay? I if I was a Democrat, I would go a step further. The people who are losing their seats in their states, it's legal to move to another state and gain another seat. Gain your seat back. You don't have to stay in Mississippi. You don't have to stay in Alabama. You don't have to stay in what, Kentucky or Tennessee. You don't have to stay there. You can move to another state and win your seat back. A lot of people change locations for a job. Why politicians can't do it? If the Supreme Court says it's legal, do it. Don't just lose your position, lose your vote. Move to another state if you have to. If this is the way they want to play the game, then you have to meet them with the same energy. And see, that's the problem that I have with Democrats, is that they're never willing to meet these people where they are. We're always like, okay, let's bring it back to the middle. Let's be conducive to everybody, right? You remember Obama? Let's call on our better angels, and let's do it this way. Well, you're not dealing with those type of people right now. You're dealing with the MAGA racists right now. And because you're dealing with them, these people are more likely to crack you in the head than listen to what you're talking about. That's where we're at. That's how divided the country is. And so if this is the way they want to play the game, then you've got to meet them with the same type of energy. If you're not meeting it with the same type of energy, you're not going to get anything done. And if you don't get anything done, you're losing ground, because these are the same folks. And a lot of, I'll get some pushback because of saying this, but here's the thing. These people will go all the way to putting black folks back in chains if you allow it. If you allow it and they say it's the law, then they can do it. Why? Because it was legal. It was legal to have slaves. So if they make it legal again, they can do it again. They never apologized for it. They never gave reparations to black people for it. They can go back and say it was always legal. And they can go back and say, we're going to do it again. So you cannot allow these folks to gain this kind of power, because we're talking about white nationalism. They wear those Nazi swastikas for a reason on their flags and stuff. That's because they have white nationalism on their mind. They don't have anything else. So if you are black or brown, then you've got a problem with them, because they only believe that white people are people. And that's what you're dealing with. Now, Trump may not believe all these things. He may not. He may just be a tool that they're using. But you better believe that Stephen Miller and Hegseth and all of those others, they believe in it. Okay? So with these next elections coming about, I believe Democrats are going to have to do what they have to do. Right? And these politicians are going to come under a lot of pressure. Now they may raid the man's house and do all this stuff and may find nothing, but at the same time, and they may even trump up some kind of charges against the man. We've seen it happen before. They did the same thing with the Attorney General, Letitia James, and other people, James Comey, and all that stuff get thrown out in court. But they raise a whole bunch of stink for nothing against these folks to slander them in the media, right? And it comes to nothing, but they do this to raise all kind of hell, right? Because this kind of hell bodes well with their base. It means absolutely nothing, but it bodes well with the racist base, because they want to see you raise some hell. That's what that's about. So at this point, this is what the legislators have to deal with, and this is what the legislators have to do. Because you have a Congress that won't do anything. Now, let's move past this. When we do take the House and we do have some power, because right now we don't have any power, Democrats don't have any power. But when we do take the House and we do have power, Democrats need to use that power. They need to use that leverage, use that strength. Stop making all these idiotic deals with the Republicans that doesn't move the needle. That's the problem. We got to move the needle. If we're not moving the needle, you're not doing anything. And that's where we're at. So you're going to come under pressure. Okay? So these states are going to change their maps. Get over it. The Supreme Court said they could, so they're going to get over it. Now you must do the same. If you don't do the same, you're going to lose people in the Senate, in the House, and possibly Congress. You're going to lose that power. Okay, so you've got to change your maps. You've also got to look at bringing new people or moving people from state to state to keep those seats, knowing that people will vote for those people. People will always vote for an AOC. They'll always vote for her. You can move her from New York to somewhere else, they'll still vote for her. They'll vote for a Bernie Sanders. You move him here, you move him there, they'll still vote for a Bernie Sanders because people know who he is, they know what he stands for. But that's what Democrats have to do. And if they're not willing to do that, then they need to be removed. If they're not willing to do the job, then they don't need to be there in the first place. I mean, but that is where the country's at. And you have to accept that. You can't say, oh, we're going to go back to where it was when Obama was the president. Oh, we're going to go back to where it was when Hillary Clinton was president. Oh, not Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton was president. Oh, we're going to go back. You can't go back. There's no going back. We live in 3 dimensions. We can't go back to yesterday. All we can do is live in the present. It's so stupid. I see the stuff online. Oh, we're going to go back. Go back to what? There's no going backwards. Nobody in life goes backwards. You ever see anybody walking to work backwards? People don't walk to work backwards. And we can't do nothing backwards. All you can do now is live in the present and move forward. If you're not willing to move forward, then they're going to put you in the crazy house because you don't walk to work backwards. We can't go back to yesterday. We can't go back to the way this country was before Trump because Trump done changed everything. It's stupid when you hear people talking about, oh, we're just going to bring things back to normal. We're going to bring things back to the way they were. You can't bring things back. If we could bring things back, we bring back Martin Luther King. We bring back Huey Newton. We bring back Malcolm X. But we can't bring none of them back. They were killed. You understand? You can't bring them people back. We'd love to have them, but you can't bring them back. Can't bring back JFK. Can't bring them back. And we can't go back to them. All we can do is live in the present and go forward. And if this is the new game, then we got to play it to win. Can't play the game to lose. You got to play the game to win. Stop listening to stupid people. Stupid people ain't got nothing to say. They ain't got nothing to say.